The solar companies are targeting people in minority communities and lower class communities, people that have just bought their homes. They're also targeting people that are older on fixed income from Social Security, people like Spanish speakers that have English contracts, people without, that work on an hourly rate, on a low hourly rate, that are lower income or lower middle class and are just unable to afford the full amount of the loan. The solar panel companies are hiring salesmen to go door to door and walk the neighborhoods, knock on the doors, try to find people they can talk to, and they're misrepresenting the facts. They're going through 20-page contracts in just a couple of minutes. They're not giving paper copies of the contract to the consumers. In some instances, they show up at the home, they get the contract signed, and the panels are in place within a few days. And the homeowner, the consumer, has signed up to this 25-year loan for solar panels that don't fit the house, that don't fit the electricity needs of the homeowner, don't reduce the electric bill by any reasonable amount, and don't cover the cost of the loan that these people are having to pay.
So he was here and he told me my electric bill would only be $138 and I believe 86 cents a month. And nobody ever said that was for renting the solar panels and I would have to rent them for 30 years. And at the time, I'd have never signed anything for 30 years.
$138 a month was not for her electricity bill. That was just the lease payment. And she was left paying both without any recourse for what they had done to her.
I have been worried about it because within a year or two, I want to sell the house and move into a retirement community.
The contract from the finance company says that the homeowner cannot take the panels with them, and that if the home is sold, the panels and the contract for the panels has to be paid off. Those two things can't exist in the same world, and it's illegal for the finance companies to misclassify the lien the way they have. Mr. Ramiro Sanchez has been faced with multiple contracts, multiple loans. As the solar companies install panels, they don't work. And so the solar panel companies say the only way to fix this is to add more panels. And Mr. Sanchez is now under contract for 5 separate loans for the solar panels that are in his home and other people's homes.
Sí, y vino que necesitaba más paneles, que porque si no iba a seguir pagando luz. Ofrecen cosas que después se da cuenta que no es cierto. Y que pues entonces no tiene caso, ¿por qué me está echando mentiras que no va a pagar luz?
One of the finance companies actually offered to consolidate all of Ramiro's other loans into one and then charge him another interest rate on top. And he was just saddled with more debt in separate loans in new companies that were not helping him. His panels were not working, and all he's got is these contracts with these decades of debt.
Digo, tanto que batallé para pagar mi casa y luego para que se queden con ellos nomás por eso.
And these actions by the solar company violate the law in several different ways. One of those ways is that it was deceptive. And every state, including Texas, has consumer protection laws that prevent companies from being deceptive in their sales pitches by lying to the consumers or misrepresenting facts or just not giving them any facts. The number of cases that we've seen and the stories and the attorneys general around the country show that the solar panel companies and their finance companies that they work with have a disturbing pattern of fraudulent misrepresentations to homeowners to get them to sign up to multi-decade contracts with absolutely no viable way for the homeowner to even break even on their electricity costs that include these balloon loan payments or even leases. And legal experts like me and others around the country repeatedly say that these contracts are fraudulent, they were obtained by misrepresentations, and that the homeowners need help getting out of these contracts. Energy bills aren't lower, the financing is too complicated or has hidden fees, high-pressure sales tactics, the system isn't producing or isn't energized, and other issues like liens or difficulty contacting the solar company. These may all be red flags that you were a victim of fraud. If you suspect you've been a victim of solar panel fraud, then don't wait. Act today. Hop on to BennettLegal.com, fill out the form, upload your documents for a free consultation. We'll let you know if you have a case or we think you have a case against the solar companies or the finance companies to get you out of these contracts.